Hey everyone, Stray Bard Art here. The process on Spacefarers and Sorcery the Princess Bard has gone faster than Spacefarers and Sorcery Lillian, but I also think it's time for an update on the direction of the series. The first is that the Princess Bard will be delayed further into 2024. This is so that I can avoid burnout and make sure I fulfill personal as well as academic responsibilities. This delay will also make sure that people interested in improving the story have enough time to review it. And speaking of that, if you are interested, feel free to reach out to me via any of the links below, and I'd be happy to collaborate with you. On a positive note, I'm going to focus on creating some short comics as a way to experiment with style and practice drawing before I start The Princess Bard, which is a 50-ish page comic in its current script. These short stories will be free and will be available to download on my Ko-Fi. With that being said, let's begin the speed paint. Going into Spacefarers and Sorcery the Princess Bard, I wanted everyone from the original story to get an upgrade and even a redesign, since I took some courses in character art as well as character design. Most of the colors and silhouettes have stayed the same, but I've added some features to show how the characters have grown between the events of the previous story and where they currently are at in The Princess Bard. Furthermore, I wanted the newer characters, Carrie and Warden, to complement the more familiar characters, Noelle, Brooks, Bill, Delilah, and Lillian. At the same time, I also made sure that everyone on this team brought something unique to the table. We'll start with Noelle. Noelle was originally going to be a jack-of-all-trades soldier, but I found it better if he stuck to one weapon and eventually specialized in it. I wanted to think about how Noelle would change his arsenal and why he would even bother updating his armor, especially since appearances don't mean too much to him. I imagine that Noelle fulfilled a role akin to a sharpshooter rifleman after working with Lillian, Delilah, and Brooks for some time. The armor change does make him look less like a soldier and more like a wanderer, with the cloth elements, the lack of more armor plating, and a sling to carry his rifle on his back. Noelle still retains the samurai-inspired bun, horns, and red eyes that illustrate what tiefling culture is like in Spacefarers and Sorcery. Brooks, on the other hand, does care more about his appearance, and to help Brooks stand out more and hint towards him progressing in magic and wizardry, his robes got more details like gold rims, a starry dress, as well as a recolor to his outfit. I kept debating what to recolor his outfit, and I settled on a pastel pink, white, violet. It's the kind of outfit that Brooks knows will draw attention, but at the same time, it shows that he wants and commands respect. I also recolored his skin to a more cooler green when compared to his warmer green, just to make him look more reptilian and dragon-like. Moving on to Delilah. Delilah didn't need too much of an overhaul, but I went for legs that were bulkier and stronger, as well as a more confident look and a taller appearance. She draws inspiration from a lot of mother characters, such as Hera from Star Wars Rebels, that convey a "I got you fam" to those that she loved, and a "prepare to die" to her enemies. Delilah received a minimal change, as did Noelle, since I felt there wasn't too much that needed to change, but I did want to change enough to show that there was a time skip, as well as painting over areas that needed some improvement, giving a bit of a weathered and used appearance to her jacket. And then moving on to the star of the previous comic, Lillian. When compared with her original appearance, Lillian is more in tune with her pyromancer herself and expresses it with pride. She still has the pistol and the jacket that Delilah provided to her, but now she is rocking a new side-cut hairstyle as well as a phoenix blade. There is a short story behind the Phoenix Blade's creation, but the gist of it is that it's meant to be a symbol of having gone through a trial by fire, and it's also meant to be a close quarters weapon for pyromancers. I also wasted no time in giving Lillian new flame effects, as well as a fireproof cape, the former to show her growth in pyromancy, and the latter as a means to convey motion during action scenes. Overall, Lillian's new appearance shows her going from being an elf adventurer on the run to a hero of the galaxy that takes center stage. Carrie went through several iterations. At one point she was just an ice warlock, and another time she was a necromancer orc. Then I had the idea of a rebellious artist who couldn't pursue their interests due to a strong sense of duty or responsibility, which is sometimes the position I found myself in, and a position I found others in, especially since during COVID a lot of our lives were turned upside down and we had to figure out how to fulfill both our creative needs as well as our other responsibilities. I imagined someone who lived with the duality of being both a princess and a bard in the Caitlyn Ascendancy. The Caitlyn Ascendancy, for those who don't know, is the rival of the Empire in the first comic. Carrie being a furbolg was a choice I made when I found the furbolgs in Critical Role to be really sweet and magical creatures. However, I think I stuck with furbolgs as they generated a sense of, as Taliesin Jaffe put it, something that Jim Henson would make: mystical, colorful, creative, fun, and natural. Being from such a different background as a princess will allow Carrie to add something new and exciting to the team. For more concept art on Carrie, you can also watch a speed paint of her I posted around a year ago. The link will be in the upper right hand corner. Moving on to Warden, initially the lineup was just 5 characters. However, I felt we could take a step further and have a character from another different background that was neither Empire or Ascendancy. Warden is that character. However, Warden is friends with Carrie and is supportive of her being a bard and an adventurer. He also shows the diversity of human occupations in the world of Spacefarers and Sorcery, him being a paladin. He is also a bit of a mentor figure to Carrie, as Delilah is to Lillian. Once he joins the team, I consider him to be something along the lines of the might and soul of the team. The yellow and silver colors present him as a divine warrior, while the blue, orange, black of his weapons provides a very cosmic feel to his gear. As for his appearance, I had tried multiple other characters, both humans and non-human characters, and I found that I gravitated towards something that reminded me a little bit of John Boyega mixed in with a character with an anime-ish hairstyle. I'm now extremely glad that I've drawn Warden, because I can't wait to see his spear, shield, and divine powers in action, and I also feel like he illustrates a side of Spacefarers and Sorcery that originally I wasn't able to tell in the limited scope of Spacefarers and Sorcery Lillian, but I hope it's one that I can share in Spacefarers and Sorcery The Princess Bard, or even one of the short stories that I'm working on. Also, as you can see, I almost forgot to add Bill in the lineup of characters, and if Bill could talk to me, I imagine that Bill is mad for me cutting out his scenes in the first comic, hence why he has a grumpy look staring back at me. So there you have it. I will continue to share updates related to Spacefarers and Sorcery on Twitter, so stay tuned and be sure to follow. And if you've made it this far in the speed paint, thank you. It really means a lot, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe for more speed paints, vlogs, art tips, rambles, and occasionally some psych stuff that I learn. Anyhow, take care, have a good week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.